What's good, everybody? I'm TJB, and welcome back to my Saturday Specials beat making series. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think of the beat. And if you like these videos and the beats I make, I got all my music available on streaming. You can find a link to my website in the description and a pinned comment in the comments. Alright, today I've got this little soul record. There's a song on here that I like that I found just a little bit ago that I think is pretty good, but I think it'll be something I can record all the way pitched down and just kind of mess with from there. I've been wanting to go for something that's a little bit more on the slow side, I guess, so I'm gonna throw it on and see how it turns out. Okay, sample's recorded and now. Pretty good song. There's a few different sections on here. It's going to be tricky because it's pretty. Of those sections are not. There's a lot of instrumentation in there, and it's going to be hard to flip it into something new. But I'm going to do my best here. But we'll start with picking out some sections of what we like, and potentially make some sample chops out of it. Carry your head so Alright, it's like half the song chopped out. Okay, I think I've got the sections cut down to what I want them to be. There's a lot to work with here, but there's nothing to do for now other than just to slice it. There's this intro part, there's the chorus, and then there's this little outro I really like. It's gonna be tough. Plus this little section in the middle of the song, which is pretty good. It's gonna be tough to string it all together. Don't have to use all of it, but let's see how much of it we can actually use. Alright, after going through and slicing everything, I think that little 2-4 bar, depending how I flip it, loop at the end of the song is probably what I'm going to base most of the beat around of. Alright, did a tap tempo earlier. I'm going to set the BPM to 61, so it's just a little bit faster than what I had there. I already know I want to put some effects on the sample, so I might as well just do that right now. Definitely going to want to kill the low end. I want a flanger on here. Put a flanger on, mother ducker, and a chorus. Now we save. What kind of drums am I looking for? I think I'm looking for some drum samples with a lot of reverb on them to kind of match what I've got going on in the sample. I wanted to sound a little ethereal, I guess. Alright, 3 snares and a clap. notes. Gotta add in the claps. Got a lot going on with the snares there. Pretty much laid down a couple of layered ones to leave in the background. It's kind of a, I don't know, like more of a background sound. And then we got the trap snare and the clap doing most of the work. All right, light back on just in case it's getting too dark again. Guess I only have time to record when it's about to start thunderstorming. Let's find some hi-hats to throw in here. The ride can stay. I think that little ride needs some reverb. Shifted the hi-hat down a few semis, sounds a little bit better. And the same for the open hat. Did a little 16 level on the closed hat. I think it's nice to play with velocity a little bit to make it sound a little more alive. And I think in theme with that, I'm going to add a little bit of swing to these drums. 53 maybe. Alright, also took out, if there's any notes that overlap with the open hat and the closed hat. Kind of a boom bap technique, I guess. Again, might not really be noticeable, but did that to kind of make the drums feel a little more alive. I think the last thing I want for these drums is a tambourine to hit on the 2 and the 4. I need some reverb too. That's better. Alright, let's record this in. Pitching those closed hats down again just a little bit. Kind of feels like they hit harder when I do that. I think also need some reverb. Yeah, needs an 808 for sure. Oh, thunderstorming. That was funny. I could see that hit right, like, not very far away from me. Right out my window. Okay, got the 808 laid down. I really like it. I like that I gave the notes some breathing room in between. It allows the notes at the end of the bars hit a little bit harder when there's some of that breathing room. So this little 4-bar loop is pretty much done. So when I was looking through some other records earlier, there was a little string stab on one of them. I think I want to add to beginning this little 4-bar loop, and then hopefully that works. If not, I'm gonna try to incorporate other parts of the sample and then finish it out as a song. Well, I found it. I just gotta record it in. Okay, we're gonna need to slow this down a lot. I think I'm gonna drop this. Well, we want to make a key match. Then we're gonna drop it an octave. And that needs some filtering and effects too. Did a mother ducker, killed the low end, added reverb and a chorus. I like that. Okay. It's not too noticeable, but it's a good background piece. Alright, let's see if I can add some more of the sample into this. Got Got the second sample chopped down. I think it would be a good build up at the end of a verse section into a hook section. Now I just gotta lay down an 808. Gotta change up the drums a little. Duplicated the 4-bar loop that we're mainly using, so I made it like an 8-bar loop. Changed some of the 808 notes at the end so it transitions better into the second section we just put down. All right, the last little section I'm going to loop in is that chorus from the original song, kind of bring everything together. And I think when I record this and when we leave a low end in. Pretty happy with that now. All right, so in review, used 3 different little loop sections from the sample for this beat. Once I throw it in Ableton and get it arranged, I'll do some filtering stuff to make it segue into each other a little bit better than it is in here. For the main verse section, I did some pretty heavy filtering and effects on it. And then after that, added some pretty involved drums. There's a lot of different sounds in there. Found a bunch of different trappier drum samples that I liked. Variation of kicks and mostly snares and a couple hi-hats. It's kind of going for a little bit more of an ethereal sounding vibe. After the drums, added pretty simple 808 pattern. Tried to give it some room to breathe. I think that part of it turned out pretty well too. Finishing touch for the verse section was the extra string stab I found from another record, which is on there right now. You probably will be able to see. Once that little 4-bar loop was done, I moved on to the build-up section, I guess, more like a bridge. Found another little 4-bar loop I could work with. Tweaked the drums in the 808. That section will be leading up to the chorus section or the hook, where it's just the loop of the original sample, just with the low end in it. But that's it for this one. I'm going to throw this in Ableton. I'm going to have to do a lot mixing wise to make sure the drums sound pretty alright still, and do some effects to segue things into each other, but it'll be fun. Really appreciate if you made it this far in the video. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think of the beat. And as always, if you enjoy these, all of my music is on streaming. You'll be able to find it in the description and a pinned comment in the comment sections. Again, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Everybody take a